See, her heart was still in Sodom. I believe that this morning. Physically, she had escaped. Physically, she was out of the city. Physically, she was past the point of destruction. But in her heart, she was still in Sodom. I can physically be in this church every Sunday morning, every Wednesday night. I can take part in the worship. I can take part in the teaching. I can take part in the preaching. I can raise my hand. I can pray. I can sing. I can do everything that goes on. I can participate in every bit of that. And my heart, I've got to go. I spoke with Johnny Johnson this morning. I don't know why it is when we use all these illustrations, about kids in school and Sunday school and what they did. All the little girls' name were always Susie, and all the little boys' name were always Johnny. Yes. And I asked Johnny, I said, "What are y'all such characters that y'all just become everything?" Little boy sitting in class one day, his name was Johnny. And he kept just standing up, at random, just standing up. The teacher said, "Johnny, sit down." Yes, ma'am. She comes back, he's standing up. "Johnny, sit down." Yes, ma'am. Well, that happened about a half a dozen times, and finally she said, "Johnny, sit down." And so she makes her loop again, and lo and behold, there he is, just as nice and quiet as he supposed to be. And she said, "Johnny, thank you for sitting down." And he looked up at her and he said, "Teacher, I'm sitting down. But in my heart, I'm still somewhere." That was what happened to Lot's wife. Let me move quickly because I've still got a ways to go and very little time. Matthew chapter 14, we see that's kind of North Mississippi English. And the Lord just said, "Come." Now, we give Peter a lot of flack for sinking, okay? But he was the only one that got out of the boat. And there's a word used in this verse that as far as I can find, that is used one place in the King James Version of the Bible. The word boisterous. It's the only place we see. Boisterous waves, angry waves. This wasn't white. This wasn't choppy. This wasn't white caps. This was rough. This was angry. And Peter is walking across the water, and the Bible says, "But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, 'Lord, save me. Lord, save me.'" Now, I'm going to tell you something. It was not the intensity of the storm that caused Peter to sink. It was violent. Waves were angry. The storm was, the Bible says, boisterous. It was bad. And Peter didn't step off of the side of the boat and go under. Peter stepped off the side of the boat and started out across through there. He's walking on the water. He is literally doing it. It was the fact that he let his attention, he lost sight of what his mission was. My mission is to get from here. I asked Jesus to help me come to him. I'm supposed to be leaving where I am, and I am going to Jesus. Right now, that's my mission. Get to Jesus. Every day of my life, my mission is get to Jesus. He headed out across through there, but something called bring on ourselves again by looking at things that the Bible really doesn't tell us. The Bible never told him that was all. He just had to look. That's where his focus had to be. It never told him to be unaware of the storm around him. We are not unaware of what's going on in the world around us, church. We cannot afford to be unaware of what's going on around us. See, there's this thing called peripheral vision that I need to be aware of. I'm looking right here. Something comes flying across here. There's something in my mind that says, "Hey, something's coming. You need to get out of the way." Peter didn't lose his peripheral vision. We don't lose our awareness of the storms of life that's going on around us. It's just not where our attention is. I know the world's in a storm. I know the world's in turmoil. I know the world situation is boisterous. I know it's angry. I know it's dangerous. I know it's a place that I cannot navigate on my own. But I know it's there. What I have to do is understand, yes, this is there, but the only way I can avoid this is for my focus to stay on my mission. That's Jesus. I'm going to Jesus. I'm going